In a world that's always searching for meaning, what if the most powerful vision for human purpose actually comes from a really ancient story? That's what we're digging into today. This incredible cosmic framework from the Bible that, honestly, feels more relevant now than ever. So let's jump right in.
Okay, so let's start with the big ones, right? Who am I and why am I even here? These aren't just questions for a late night philosophy class. They're they're the engine behind everything we do. And according to the source we're exploring, when we don't have solid answers to these, our whole sense of self starts to crumble. It argues that this is like the core struggle of our modern world.
And that struggle? Yeah, it's got a name, a meaning crisis. It's kind of wild when you think about it. For all our progress, all our tech, there's this nagging feeling that we've just become unmoored. You know? Like we have a million options, but no map, no compass to tell us where to go. And this right here, this slide just nails the diagnosis. Our identities feel shattered into a million pieces. We build these perfect looking lives online, all while just looking for the next thing to distract us. But the source we're exploring says these aren't the real issues. They're just symptoms, symptoms of something much, much deeper, a fundamental loss of our purpose. So, where do we even begin to look for an answer? Well, this is where that ancient narrative completely flips the script. It doesn't start with our confusion. It starts with this powerful declaration about our design. The whole idea is that our identity isn't something we're supposed to create, but something we were given from the very beginning. And this is the verse that kicks the whole thing off. The two phrases you've really got to lock onto here are "in our image" and "let them have dominion." This isn't just about being a good person or being spiritual. It's a job description. It's a statement of function, of what humanity is for.
So, what does image of God even mean? Well, back in the ancient world, it was a really powerful idea. A king would put up statues of himself all over his kingdom, and those statues basically screamed, "This is my turf. I rule here." That's exactly what the image of God concept is getting at. We, humans, were created to be God's living, breathing representatives on earth, tasked with extending his wise and loving rule into every single corner of creation.
And boom, this slide just lays out the massive difference in approach. The modern way is all about looking inward, right? Searching your feelings, trying to discover who you are. But this framework says, nope, look outward. Look to the role you were given in this huge cosmic design. In this view, identity flows from purpose, not just from what you feel.
So the crucial point is that humans were designed for partnership. It's this incredible idea that just as God has this heavenly council, this team of spiritual beings who participate in his rule, humanity was created to be the earthly council, governing the physical world in a way that mirrors the harmony of the spiritual one. But, of course, we all know the story doesn't stay that pristine. Something goes horribly, horribly wrong, and that original royal purpose we were given gets tragically derailed.
Now, this is such a crucial reframing of what the Bible calls the fall. It wasn't just about breaking some rule. It was about humanity basically quitting its job, abdicating its role as God's representatives. It was a rejection of our core job description, and that led to this catastrophic loss of identity and purpose. And this metaphor, man, it just captures the result perfectly. The image isn't totally gone. We still have this incredible dignity and potential, but it's distorted. The mirror is cracked. Our reflection of God's rule becomes self-serving, and our natural drive for purpose gets twisted into something else entirely. And that, of course, brings us to the massive turning point in the entire story. God's epic plan to restore humanity's lost vocation and, well, to repair that cracked mirror. And this isn't a quick fix. It unfolds over centuries. It starts with a promise to one man, Abraham, that his family would bless the whole world. It expands to the nation of Israel, called to be a kingdom of priests for all the other nations. But ultimately, they fall short too. The story just keeps building anticipation for someone who can finally and fully succeed. And that someone is Jesus. In this framework, Jesus is the ultimate image of God, the one who perfectly lives out the human vocation. He doesn't just show us how to be good, he shows us how to be truly human, restoring the royal mission that was given right at the very start. So what does this restored purpose look like for us, today and in the future?
This is where the story's climax has some profound, and I mean profound, implications for our own lives.
This contrast right here might be one of the most powerful takeaways of this whole idea. A common view of salvation is that it's an escape plan, a ticket out of this world. But this framework argues for something so much bigger. Salvation is restoration for the world. It's not about abandoning our posts. It's about finally being empowered to do our jobs right.
The renewed mission, then, is to participate in Christ's reign. Believers are called a royal priesthood, sharing in his authority to bring healing and order. You see, being reconciled to God isn't the end goal, it's the starting line. It's the beginning of becoming his agents of reconciliation in every sphere of life. And the story ends right back where it began, with humanity's royal purpose. The final vision isn't one of passive worship in the clouds, but of active, joyful co-reigning with Christ in a renewed creation, finally fulfilling the original commission to have dominion.
So we're left with this one question to chew on. In an age of endless self-discovery, what if our deepest purpose isn't something we have to invent or find, but something that was given, lost, and is now waiting to be restored? It's a powerful idea to consider.